Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you are not tired of watching my videos and photos. Today is the first week of the Classic Extension course. I will write some of the lessons here and explain them to you. The first thing I want to explain to you is the terms written on the Lash packaging. What do these numbers and letters mean? Just like I explained to you on the palette of lashes, some information is written on it. One of the things that is written is the size of the lash. This can range from the smallest size, which is 7 or 8 millimeters, all the way up to 15 or even 20 millimeters. It continues in the same way with limited sizes. Pay attention to what size the customer wants and also pay attention to your own experience level. You choose the size based on the customer's needs. Another thing written on the packaging is the thickness of the lash. For example, what is written here is 0.10 or 1/10. You'll also see 0.15, 0.20, and so on. It goes from a little thickness to a lot of thickness. 0.10 is the thinnest you can get. Then there's the curl of the lash. How much curl does the lash have? How curved is it for the client's eye? This is called the curl. We go from a small curl to a large curl. The most common curl is medium, which is usually C or CC. Now, the curl is usually shown with letters like J, B, C, D, and CC. D is the most curved and gives a very dramatic look. C is a medium curl that looks natural and is very popular. CC is also a medium curl, similar to C, but some brands use it differently. And J and B are more natural and less curly. One thing you need to know is that in some brands, the letters might be different. For example, in one brand, CC might be more curly than D. So always ask your seller about the curl when you buy. The letters can be different depending on the brand, so don't assume they are all the same. Ask your seller what each letter means for that specific brand. I will show you more pictures and examples in the next videos. And don't worry, I will explain everything step by step. For now, just remember. Size goes from small to large, 7 millimeters to 20 millimeters. Thickness goes from thin to thick, 0.10 to 0.20. Curl goes from natural to dramatic, J, B, C, CC, D. Keep this in mind until I explain the rest to you in more detail. One of the things you have to pay attention to when doing lash extensions is where to place the extension on the natural lash. We see it in the beginning, but I have to tell you here. Guys, the natural lash of the customer grows in different directions. If the natural lash is straight, you should place the extension from above. But if the natural lash is curled, it's better to attach it from underneath or from the side. This way, the extension sits more naturally and stays in place longer. One point that was very important is the distance you have to create from the eyelid. For example, this is the customer's eye, and this is the natural lash. How far should the distance be? If we have to attach the extension to the natural lash, we should not place it too close to the skin at all. Placing the extension too close to the skin is like stabbing the client's eye. The client will tell you that her lash is stabbing and that she is not comfortable at all, and she would be right. So I can tell you that about 1 to 2 millimeters should be the distance from the eyelid. If it is far from the eyelid, what happens? The natural lash grows. Natural lashes grow like our hair. There is a growth cycle that happens every month. For example, if you place the lash too close to the skin, when the natural lash grows, the extension will start to lift and fall forward. It becomes rigid and drops in front of the client's eye. So the distance you have to create is very important. So here we talked about two topics. One is where to place the extension, and the other is how far the extension should be from the skin. Pay attention to these points. Now there is another technique for placing the extension. You can place it from the inside or from the outside of the natural lash. For example, this is the client's eye, and this is the client's nose. We have two options. We can work from the top or from the bottom. There is another technique where you can place it from the side. In situations where the client's natural lashes are normal, you can work from different angles. It becomes clear in the work where and how you have the opportunity to place it. So we want to place the extension on the natural lash. It becomes clear in practice how to place it and how to make it better. Again, it depends on your experience. Do your work little by little. Your hand will get better with practice. But pay attention, placing from above is good for clients with certain eye shapes, and placing from below is better for others. We can also attach it from the side of the natural lash. If you don't have a good angle, you can place it from the bottom or from the top. The best condition is when the weight of the extension is not falling on the natural lash alone. Instead, the weight falls on the client's natural lash. This means it is better if it is like this, so that it can be tightened later and it does not fall off. The client's natural lashes stay longer and healthier.